In this video, we will create nice login form to log into our PHP dashboard or PHP homepage, right? So I'm going to use HTML, CSS and PHP and also MySQL for this one. So we'll implement this nice login form, then after we'll try to log into the next PHP page. Okay, so first I'm going to create a folder in my htdocs folder. You can see I have opened exam control panel and I'm going to start Apache server and MySQL server. Then after here I have created folder inside my htdocs folder. I have this folder structure, right? So if you are going to use PHP backend local server, then you have to create a folder inside htdocs folder. So we'll open this folder inside our code editor. I'm going to use VS Code for this one. Right, so then after I'm going to navigate into the MySQL control panel, PHP myadmin. Here we will create one database with the one table for the username and password or email and password. Then after, by using that form, we will try to identify whether username and password is correct information which we are going to give in this database, right? So I'm going to create a database. So we'll use name. Let's see. I'm going to use name YT login 1. Okay, so here I'm going to create a table with two columns, one for the email, one for the password, right? So we'll create two table. Create table. I'm going to name this as a user. ID will be integer. It will be automatically increment. And this will be our primary key. Then after for the email, I'm going to use Waka 200 characters and not a null. Again for the password, Vacha will use 100 characters, not null. Right, here you can see we have created table with the name user, then after ID, email and password will be our attribute or columns. So we have successfully created this table. We haven't insert any value. I am going to insert one row manually for the admin login. So ID will be auto incremented. Admin mail will be admin at mail gmail.com. Password will be 123456. So we are giving these things manually. Then after, by using that login form, we will identify these values, right? Right, so let's see our table. We have ID 1 auto incrementer, email admin at gmail.com, password 123456. Okay, now we will implement our VS Code, that means our coding for this login form and backend operation. Okay, so I am going to create 3 files here. So one for the HTML index.html page. Then after we will create style.css or login.css page for the login style. After that I am going to create one file for the PHP process.php. So okay, so we will create one page, home page also, home.php. Right, first I am going to implement HTML content. That means I am going to create my form. So we will generate boilerplate code. I'm going to give title login using PHP. So we will create division with the class name container Inside this class division, I'm going to create another division with the class name title. This will be our admin login page, right? So I'm going to name this as admin login. Then now we will collect our user email and password, right? Right, so for the division, I'm going to use class name as field. So we got our email. Then now I'm going to get the password field. Okay, so we'll open this inside the live server, or else we can navigate into our PHP website. That means localhost. We have login folder. Inside login folder I have login 1. Okay, we have these two things. Then now I'm going to add remember me option and login button. So this one for the remember me, I'll use type as a checkbox. Then ID will be remember me. I'm going to add the 4 attribute. Then this will be for our remember me import field. So I need to use ID. That means remember me. Then now we will add our forget password link, right? After that I need to add 2 buttons, one button for the login and one for the sign up, right? We'll add that 2 button here by create division with the class name field. We'll create the submit button with the name value login, and name also will be login. Since I am using PHP to submit this form, I have to use this input or button type as a submit. Then after when I enter submit button or login button, on that time it will send all the information, that means email and password, into the backend PHP file, right? So we identify this button using this login name. I will use simple letter. Don't have an account. If you don't have an account, then you can register, right? Or sign up. Okay, so I think now we have somewhat okay. Remember me, forget password, login and register button. Okay, so in this form you can see I have action process.php. That means when I submit this form, it on that time it will send this information to the backend process.php file, and method will be post. That means all the information will be encrypted, right? Okay, now I'm going to connect my login.css file. So link css will be login.css. Okay, you can see now we are inside the process.php. That means our form is submitting. Now we will add some CSS, then we will move into the PHP coding. First, for the root element, I am going to give style margin into 0, heading also will be 0, box sizing will be border box, and for the font family I am going to use font family as monospace. Let's see. Okay, then after for the HTML element and body section, body element, display will be grid element, so we'll place our item center, and for the background I'm going to give color white. Now all the elements are centered, then after we'll add our style, right? I have container. For the container division I'm going to use width as 400 px, then background color we'll use something like this, beige, .10 px border radius, and I'm going to add shadow 0 15 px 10 px RGBA, black color with transparency 0.3. Alright, so I'm going to reduce the transparency into 0.2. Nice. Now inside the container we have title and these field classes, right? And also form. .5 root element size, font size, font weight I'm not going to add because I'm using H3 tag, then on it we'll align this into the center. We'll set color into the white, then after we'll add some background for this one. So border radius I'm going to give for this one, let's say for the login U0 15 px, and I'm going to give background for the background gradient color minus 130 degree, then after colors will be I'm going to use pink color and blue color. Okay, this is somewhat okay. We can use some light color and some dark pink color from this side. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the font size into 1.2. And we will add height for this one around 100 px. Okay, now it is fine. Then I'm going to style this email and password field. Inside our container class, I have form. So inside form, I'm going to add a style. So we'll add the padding for this form, 10 px top left, 30 px bottom, 50 px right will be 30 px. We'll use 40 px. Okay. So inside the form I have again field. For this one I'm going to use height as 40 px and width will be 100%. Field division, right? I have this field division here. This one, that means this entire container. From the top margin I'm going to use 15 px and the position will be, we'll use this as a relative. Inside field I have input field. For the input field I am going to use height as 100% and width will be 100%. Right, so you remove this outline into none. Font size will be 20 px. I'm going to use gray color for the border of this import field. Right, so we have this. Then I'm going to add the style for this label. So we have this label. For this one I will use inside form we have field class, then we have label. Let's see position. Okay, we'll increase the font size 20 px, then color will be gray color, and we'll decrease the font size into somewhere 18 px. Okay, so then I'm going to add style for this remember me and forget password. You can add a style for this one. I'm just focusing on the PHP part. For this we use class name as content, right? Okay, now we have dot content. Display will be a flex element. I'm going to align this into the center. Align item center, justify content center, and height will be, we'll use height as 50 px and width will be 100%. Now this will be inside the one row. Then after inside content class we have class name, checkbox, right? Checkbox and password link. Line item center, then after justify content again center. For the input field, width will be 15 px, it will be again, I'm going to use background color as red. We'll add some padding here. Right, then after for the forget password, I'm going to add the style for this one. Let's see now class name again, password link, right? For this one I'm going to we'll give style for this one, color into the black color, we'll keep it blue, right? Okay, then now I'm going to add the style for this login button and register link. So for this one I have used class name field and login input field, then after sign up link. Inside form I have my sign up link and login button, right? Let's see our class name. I have field, inside field I have input field. So for this one I'm going to use color name as white. There will be no border. So we'll add font size into 20 px and cursor will be pointer when I hover over. Okay, we have color is white color. Now we'll add the background color. For this one same background color like this, and I'm going to take a copy of this one and paste it here. Okay, now I need to style only this login button only. For that I can add type as submit. Only the submit button we need to style submit input field. Then after we have our sign up link. For this one I'm going to use color as a black again. Nice. So we'll decrease size of this email and password, right? Okay, so now we have successfully created these two elements. That means I'm going to enter username as test1 at gmail.com. Password will be, instead of adding this label, we can add placeholder, right? I think it will be fine. So for the input field, or else we can remove this when we focus on this input field. On that time I am going to add this style for the label. Again, form dot field class input field, if this is valid. I'm going to use color name as purple and background will be white color or #FFA. So we'll transform this into the translate y -50%, and for this one I'm going to add the style transform. It will be again translate y -50%, but this time font size will be, we'll do something around 18px. Transition, that means animation, we are going to slow this animation, all 0.3 second linear. Nice, right? So we can end test at gmail.com. Password 1 2 3 4 5, something like this. Now I'm going to take this MB. So I have implemented nothing for this one, just clicking here. Then after we will enter login button. So it will submit our information into the process.php file. Okay, so our database name is what? YT login1. I'm going to create a connection string here. So we'll create separate file for the DB connection, right? Database connection.php. Here you need to add 3 attribute. That means your host name. Host will be localhost in my server, localhost. Username will be root. There will be no password. And DB name is, database name will be YT login 1. So we will store this connection reference inside this variable MySQL connect. You need to pass 4 parameters here. First one is your host name, then after your username, password and database name. I have created 4 variable, or else you can directly pass that values here. So host name, or die message. We are going to print error message, fail to connect with database. Now we can include this file inside our process.php file. Then now we can access our database using this connection variable. So we'll include it here, php database connection include dbcon.php. Okay, let's refresh our website again. Now there is no errors. I'm going to change this database name into 12. Then again we will refresh. You can see there is error, right? So that means we have successfully connected in the earlier time. If there is no errors, it is not going to show anything. If there is any error, it will show this fail to connect with database with the error message, MySQL connect error message, right? Okay, now we need to check whether we have submit this form or not by using this login button. Then we have password with the name password. By using this name we are identifying these values, right? Password, email. If is set $post login button. If login button is clicked on that time, we can get username will be $post username. Then password will be $post password. Okay, let's see these two things, name, username and email, right? Email and password. Okay, so I'm going to change this into email. Here we need to add email and password. Then I'm going to alert these two. Alert, we'll alert one, for example email, write document dot, I'm going to use JavaScript here, right? Email, echo email, so no need to add password. Let's see whether this one is working or not. Right, so we got the email and password in the backend. Okay, so next thing is I need to write a SQL statement to get these values from the database. My database table name is what? User. From this user table I am going to check whether our given email and password is equal to these two. For that we will write query select all from user table where our username, right? Username email. So I have given email, right? Let's see our column name, email, and password equal to this password variable. That means user entered password. If these two are equal, it will return a row. MySQL like query connection variable, then not our query. So it will execute this query inside the database, and we have result inside this result variable. If MySQL num rows of result variable greater than 0, that means if we got at least one row on that time, we can output echo successful or correct password, right? Or else we can write echo wrong password. I'm going to refresh this one, wrong password, right? Now this time I'm going to enter correct password, that means admin@gmail.com, password 123456. correct username and password which we have given in database row. Login, correct password. Right, so now next thing is, when we enter correct password, we need to navigate into this home.php file. So we'll add one h1 tag here with admin dashboard. Right, when we enter correct password, I need to navigate into this page. That means home.php page. Header, location will be home.php page. So we have entered successful password. That means then not we can navigate into the admin dashboard. So like this you can create a simple login form. And there is another thing. So if you use session variable, for example, I am going to create a session variable. So for that we will start our session here. Okay, so we will create session variable $session username is equal to this email or something like that. User login is equal to this email. Okay, I'm going to take a copy of this one. Then after, now we have this thing, right? Our page is home.page. I'm going to enter wrong password test@gmail.com 123. We'll press enter. Wrong password. Now if I enter home.php here, we can navigate into admin dashboard. So we need to prevent this one by using session variable. We can create a session when we log in like this. If login is successful, on that time we are going to create this session variable. After that I am going to use this session variable inside home.php file. php will start session. Now if is set $session this variable, that means user login. If this one is set only, we can navigate into h1 admin dashboard. If not set, that means if not is set, you can add asterisk. On that time you need to navigate into or redirect into index.html page. Right, now I'm going to replace this one. Again we'll replace here. Now I'm trying to log into the I'm going to bypass this admin login and navigate into the home.php. So let's see our, okay, it should be PHP. I can't navigate into that page, right? But if I enter correct email and password, that means admin@gmail.com 456 password. Now I can navigate into this page. So you can prevent that this kind of login by using session variable. Then after when you log out, on that time you can destroy this session, right? Unset this session. Okay, so we create this nice login form with the PHP using this command. I will include this as a GitHub file in the description. You can download freely, set up, then after you can practice this one, right? Okay, we'll meet with the new mini CRUD project in the next video.